more financial institutions to be established. CCDA held workshop to address climate change. And EMTV becomes official broadcaster of National Soccer League. Good evening and welcome. This is Saturday's News. I'm Kilawani. The potential of more financial institutions in the country, apart from the large banks, entering the banking sector is among current discussions in the business arena, which is likely to transform the banking space. Initiatives such as crowdfunding with the intention of creating alternative, locally owned banks or financial institutions in the country are also emerging. Two major players in PNG's commercial banking space, BSP Financial Group Limited and Kina Bank, expressed their views on this yesterday.
BSP Financial Group Limited has dominated the commercial banking space of PNG for many years. Kina Bank has acquired Maybank, part of ANZ Bank, and now intending to acquire Westpac Bank. With talks of microbanks or alternative financial institutions entering the market and are likely to transform the banking sector in the not-too-distant future, the big players do welcome competition. In presenting half-year results for 2021 yesterday, BSP Financial Group Limited CEO Robin Fleming shared his views on it.
Bank of PNG has undertaken a number of initiatives over the last few years to give the smaller financial institutions, be they micro banks or others, an opportunity to participate in the payment sector. They've got their retail electronic payment system, which means that people like MyBank, TISA and others can have access to a payment system directly via Bank of PNG without having to rely on another bank. BSP used to provide that type of access for MyBank. It also provided that type of access for TISA. But with the REPS system, it gives them immediate and direct access into the payment system.
In an exclusive interview with EMTV News yesterday, Kina Bank's General Manager for Treasury and Financial Markets, Nathan Wingty, expressed the bank's views on this new corridor of opportunity for alternative financial companies.
I think it's a natural progression in terms of the reshaping of our banking sector to make it more suitable for Papua New Guinea. I think we will have a couple of larger local players in the commercial banking space, but I think more importantly we need to have the local player, the non-bank players step up and sort of fill that vacuum and that void to be able to service the rest of the country. So I'm excited about the transition that's happening.
Crowdfunding initiatives are also ongoing with the aim of enabling Papua New Guineans to own shares in locally owned banks or microfinance institutions. And with the advancement of digital banking platforms in the country, the way Papua New Guineans do banking may be transformed, along with more options for banking through various products and services.
As the PNG economy does become more digitalised, I have no doubt that there will be more opportunities for people in that fintech space to develop more digital capabilities without necessarily having to rely on the bricks and mortar. But there's also a lot of other compliance requirements which come from operating a bank. I think Bank of PNG did say today that the application for TISA continues to progress, and it's one of the comments that we continue to make. We welcome competition, particularly Bank of PNG does need to ensure that there's capital soundness, access to foreign currency in need, and capability to be able to provide a broader range of services to everyone.
Kina Bank lodged its final submission to ICCC yesterday in terms of its intention to acquire Westpac Bank in PNG. Dealing with competition is pretty much the main theme of the acquisition discussions.
And I think whilst there is a fair bit of fear about the unknown out there, I tend to focus on the positive. We've done acquisitions before. We've generally made them successful, and generally customers have benefited out of those, as we've grown. So I only think that'll intensify, and then through our support and the support of others to helping the other small players in the industry step up. I think the industry has an opportunity to reshape itself to better serve the country.
With banking customers raising regular complaints about long queues, costly bank charges, broken notes, and the list goes on, will more competition in the market be a solution to these concerns? Dennis Orere, National EMTV News.
Providing support for local SMEs has been a key agenda under the Marape government, with the initial 200 million kina investment funding being channeled through selected commercial banks. BSP Financial Group Limited was allocated 100 million kina last year to lend out to local SMEs. Group CEO Robin Fleming said yesterday over half of that has already been lended out so far. Meanwhile, Kina Bank, amidst intending to acquire Westpac Bank PNG Limited, has also invested 50 million kina for lending to local SMEs, although not being one of the selected banks under the government's credit enhancement facility.
Definitely the program will be continuing in future years. Out of the 100 million that BSP received, we've dispersed 55 to 58 million kina. We have another 50 million kina in the pipeline. And our retail team in that SME area have been involved in a number of awareness programs with Department of Commerce and Industry around PNG to provide as much awareness and training as possible. But certainly we've been successful in getting 55 million kina out the door, and we're confident that we're going to be able to continue a drawdown process for customers in those who do qualify. And we've also adjusted some of the qualification requirements to reduce the equity down to 10% and also to increase the turnover threshold for customers who are deemed to be in that SME category. But it is an ongoing fund, and that was part of the agreement with government. It wasn't a one-off, and as more businesses are able to repay, it does become a self-sustaining sinking fund, and to the extent that we're able to keep our default rates at a level which were consistent with what had been contemplated when we established the program.
We haven't been nominated as one of the partners under the government's program. We've allocated about 50 million of our funds to support an SME loans program. It's both for secured and unsecured loans, and the pricing is at 4%. So that's been launched quite recently, and thankfully, a number of customers have already lodged applications, and I believe we've already financed a few as well under the SME loan program of ours. So that's been our sort of commitment to the government's national strategy to support SMEs.
The people of Lelet in central New Island, Namatanai district, are now enjoying the benefits of Walters Farming Association sub-buying point. The buying point is part of the Stretim Aidua Pastem initiative of Namatanai District Development Authority. Local MP Walter Schnobelt says with these buying points established, people do not have to travel long distances to sell their fresh produce.
The Walters Farmers Association buying points was officially launched in the Ward 10 area of Namatanai district, and it is part of the Stretim Aidua Pastem initiative of the Namatanai DDA to support local farmers. With these buying points, local farmers don't have to travel long distance to sell their fresh produce. Local MP Walter Schnobelt says this is the beginning of more buying points to be established to ensure farmers have money to support themselves and improve their livelihood. It was built at the cost of 10,000 kina and comes under the Namatanai Advancement Limited, the business arm of Namatanai DDA. Namatanai Advancement Limited, through their subsidiary Namatanai Agro Industry, are working with innovative agro industries to introduce farming at the next level, and plans are underway for a factory to mill cassava and cocoa and poultry production expected to get off the ground by December. NAL CEO Jose Akalis says this is to enable the development of agriculture to ensure people have access to basic services at community level. He says NAL is the people's company and it is here to stay. With the launching of the buying points, operations have started. Operations Manager Sam Lakneke says within a month, the sub-buying point at Lelet have supplied over 3.5 tons of assorted vegetables at about 6,000 kina per day. And farmers are happy as the sub-buying points have saved them the risk of travelling long distances to Namatanai. Rayon Lakingu National, EMTV News.
Namatanai district in New Island province is expected to experience big changes in economic empowerment as more development begin to unfold. This will be made possible through the opening of a new Bank South Pacific branch and the reopening of the airport. Local MP Walter Schnobelt said the opening of the Walters Farming Association buying points has empowered farmers who now have cash to spend and meet daily needs.
Speaking at the opening of the new Bank South Pacific branch in Namatanai recently, the Namatanai MP Walter Schnobelt says the district have been without a bank for over 20 years. The establishment of the new BSP Bank will ensure economic empowerment for the people. The local MP further adding that the establishment of Walters Farmers Association buying point has also empowered farmers who now have cash to support themselves. Over 2 million kina was spent to establish the new BSP branch in Namatanai. The local MP further acknowledged the support of Investment Promotion Authority in ensuring the bank is open to serve the people. BSP Chief Executive Officer Robin Fleming also thanked Namatanai District Development Authority for allocating the premises for the bank to be built. He says banking services in the district is vital. Apart from the BSP Bank, plans are underway for the reopening of the Namatanai Airport, and discussions are underway for Link PNG and Airlines PNG to open their ticketing agencies in the district. With ticketing rights given to Namatanai Advancement Limited, the business arm of the Namatanai District Development Authority. This will ensure people have access to airline services in the district. The local MP says people can no longer travel long distances to Keviang or Lihir to get on a flight out of the province. Rayon Lakingu National, EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. More stories when we come back. Welcome back to the news. The Climate Change Development Authority and stakeholders held a workshop recently to focus on the revised Nationally Determined Contributions Draft Implementation Plan 2021 to 2030. The Nationally Determined Contributions are submitted by countries under the Paris Agreement of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change.
Nationally determined contributions are submitted by countries under the Paris Agreement of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change UNFCCC and represents pledges on climate action that seek to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius over pre-industrial levels. With the upcoming 26th Conference of Parties, COP26, in Glasgow, United Kingdom, parties are looking forward to sharing their commitments and also seeking support for the implementation of their NDCs. The Climate Change Development Authority, with stakeholders and development partners, held a NDC national workshop to present the draft revised NDC implementation plan 2021 to 2030.
The purpose of this workshop is basically to round on 4 main objectives. This is a very important workshop. We will look at NDC draft regulations and also revise NDC plan, and also we will look at 2 roadmaps under energy and electricity. This roadmap will be developed to implement the NDC in PNG. And also we will align our adaptation NDC work with the National Adaptation Plan for PNG.
Development partner Global Green Growth Institute (GGI), through the Climate Action Enhancement Package program, is supporting CCDA in this draft NDC implementation plan roadmap for the sectors of the energy, the agriculture, forestry and land use, and the adaptation, transport infrastructure, health and agriculture, electricity.
We want to thank the development partners and all the key stakeholders that have contributed to PNG's NDC. This is our commitment under UNFCCC, which government has shown commitment last year by submitting the SDG 13, 30 by 30 roadmap, and also our enhanced NDC to United Nations.
The Global Green Growth Institute says that Papua New Guinea is one of the countries leading in the important climate change policy decisions.
In terms of climate action on the ground, Papua New Guinea is leading the way, taking very important policy decisions as well as decisions in terms of implementing climate action on the ground. And we are looking forward to working with the government, with Climate Change and Development Authority, as well as all the other national agencies and other organizations in the country to implement inclusive and resilient green development actions and actions on climate change in the country.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV News.
Madang Hospital's pediatrician, Dr. Jimmy Ipit, says immunization coverage in Madang province is below 20%, indicating that children are missing out on their vaccination. Dr. Ipit explains children's mortality rate in the country is very high, and it is important for parents to bring their children to health centers for immunization. Dr. Ipit was speaking during the launching of the routine immunization program organized by the Madang Provincial Health Authority in partnership with World Vision.
On Friday, the Madang Provincial Health Authority, supported by World Vision, launched the routine immunization program at Madang Town. Dr. Ipit says children's immune system is not strong and matured enough to deal with sicknesses, and it is important for parents to make sure children under 5 years are vaccinated to protect themselves against diseases.
Vaccine now, look, province lo yumi ogata. El Santa, look, province only got cold chain, only got fridge, only got all activity long carry out. Vaccination inside long all one El Santa long all. Ogata only got. You me all public and walk lo you me papa mama look simple beginning go long house or time. El Dueges only go inside the community lo you now only carry out. Patrol, lo give him tabusun or pigini. You must help him all. Look out them all. Now bring him pigini go inside the community. Lo kiss him, baby shoot. Tabusun.
Dr. Ipit says measles immunization coverage is below 30%. This shows that the risk of another measles outbreak is high. He says breastfeeding and vaccination are important intervention programs needed to provide healthy children for a healthy community and the country. And parents, including the community, are encouraged to support immunization.
Vaccine coverage belongs to measles have been done blow through. I'm under 30%. Sorry, true lo to give you. People vaccine coverage lo you mean lo country I mean province I mean done blow through. Because mama, papa, or family, or line inside the community, or one dog, you be got piggy stuff lo community that's all you mean no kisim only go lo housing lo kisim vaccine. Vaccine saves lives. Saving life long piggy lo you mean.
Safety belong pikinini stop anda belong hand belong you papa and mama. Safety belong pikinini emi stop belong hand belong you. Health belong pikinini emi stop belong hand belong you. Plandi all pikinini belong mi pla. Time only work lo program. Body system long all emi no strong long fighting disease. Emi no strong long punish him all yet.
PHA CEO Fidelis Wampan says Madang's performance is very low in terms of immunization coverage, and the Provincial Health Authority will support health facilities in all districts to ensure the immunization routine program reach rural communities.
Directions from the Madang Provincial Health Authority, we will give focus on supporting the immunization program, routine immunization program, all the 6 districts. We will ensure that all the district health managers will be supported
lo side blow empowering all health facilities staff na all not line of study work by supporting me plan lo bringing this immunization program it go down all village level.
World Vision, under its accelerated immunization program, is working with PHA to increase the immunization coverage in Madang.
So this is a program supported by Australian government, New Zealand government, the PNG government will be work from one time. Now making sure that we apply increasing immunization coverage. Helping more piggy blow apply in Solo province so that we can helping more kisim this la suit. Protecting all vaccine preventable disease.
The program was officially launched on Friday by the board chairman. Martha Louise, National EMTV News, Madang.
Madang Provincial Hospital's Director of Public Health, Dr. Martin Damian, says the immunization is different from the COVID-19 vaccines as it was misunderstood by parents. Dr. Damian says parents are not bringing their children to the hospital out of fear. He explained that the COVID-19 vaccines are not for children under 18 years old. The Provincial Health Authority launched the routine immunization program to increase the immunization coverage in Madang.
Please come along, kiss him tambu suit. Important. Now let us play time, we play lukimosem. Let's play nuclear sick. Coronavirus come now, vaccine blow him come. Plan the old papa mama only porret long kiss him all beginning. You go long kiss him tambu suit. Harim. Let's play vaccine blow coronavirus emblow people man meritasol. Vaccine blow coronavirus emblem people man meritasol. All little beginning. Tamblo lo Christmas plangol 18 less than 18 years you go down all na kisim dos plak coronavirus vaccine or COVID-19 vaccine emnogat so des plak COVID-19 vaccine emblom people mantasol now mi plak amlo tok long tambu suit plangol pikinini because plenty or papa mama only poret lo kisim plenty or pikinini ikam. Suppose you mean no kisimoli come behind you go same long next year you go same you got sembla all disease outbreak come up.
A remote community in Gama LLG of Usinabundi district, Wara Leplep, received its first 4,000 sheets of roofing iron. The roofing iron will replace the sago palms used by the locals to build houses. Local member Jimmy Uguru presented the building materials, including a sawmill, chainsaw and sporting gears, to the people recently.
Wara Laplap in Ward 2 of Gama LLG is situated near Ramu River and is accessible by canoe or road that normally takes more than 5 hours. Most people here still use sago palms as roofs. On Saturday, the villagers received their first sheets of roofing irons from local MP Jimmy Uguru to replace the sago palms.
And what to consider work for you, make sure. All the Papa Mama Rossi Monitor Kunaina, Mas Patim Kappa, where member is Dr. So big work for one council, let me finish him now. Ward 2 am complete, finish, me take him now. Maybe let's go to the next ward. That's the Kappa, making one family. Papa Mama Peginini, bike sim 12 foot, 24 plus seat low, one Papa Mama. Oh, yeah, you stop, you're not going to ask him Lokapa. You married person, you ask him Lokapa. Now, yeah, Papa Mama play you. Now you work play you, and me carry ball, come here by play.
Gama LLG is the 4th ward in Usinabundi to receive this modern housing material. 900 families in Ward 22 of Bundi Council received theirs as well, costing almost 1.2 million kina.
All Kappa got low blongen. So now people are kissing this Kappa capacity is almost 4,000 to 5,000 seats now sit down on the view. Now, suppose you go to house, it's costing around 68 kina, 1 plus seat Kappa. Now you multiply this 1 plus 12 foot 68 kina. You times him by 12 foot lo 1 plus family. 24 plus 6 lo 1 family. And we are on 1,600 plus. So what do today? 1 family member put him and we give him you. Indirectly give you kappa. I'm losing 1,600 plus. What time you? That's family number 1.
The district's kappa project, kappa which means iron roof, comes under the 5-year development plan, which the local member is delivering to rural communities.
1 word by you give him sensor. 1 word by you give him 6 inches. Sawmill. There's a sawmill by helping 1 family you give him kappa. You yet buy them divide for you. You yet buy them fuel for you. Now contribution you buy them divide for you. Now fuel for you. That's all. Okay, that's the member provided for this. Now there's something by what council play one time development committee belongan by manage him. And by manage him that's la. So you want 1 man, you ready? And by you go in line. No can buy it lo timba. You go in line.
This project aims to improve the living standard of people in the electorate. Martha Lewis, National EMTV News, Medeng.
Trukai Sports is next. All the details when we come back.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Southern Conference of the Kumul Petroleum National Soccer League competition will be telecasted live on MTV starting on the 18th of September. The agreement was signed yesterday at the PNG Football Stadium. The agreement was signed today at the PNG Football Stadium between the broadcaster MTV and the PNG Football Association.
The Kumul Petroleum National Soccer League competition has continued its partnership with MTV to broadcast the National Soccer League matches live and exclusive to Papua New Guineans. The partnership agreement signed today between MTV and Papua New Guinea Football Association at the PNG Football Stadium will see MTV broadcast selected matches of the Southern Conference of the National Soccer League competition played here in Port Moresby.
MTV is very proud to partner again with PNG Football Association this year as the official broadcaster to be able to broadcast the games in Port Moresby to the rest of the nation to be a part of. And not only will it be broadcast on MTV, but it will also be on Telecom TV and also online on MTV Facebook live streaming.
President of PNG FA John Capinato said the television broadcast deal is part of their plan to bring football to all corners of Papua New Guinea.
We are very delighted and so excited about going into this partnership with MTV to try and telecast our matches and our games, not only in Port Moresby but throughout the entire country. And that has been part of our vision. Our vision is that we want to take football to the corners of all the country, and we've done that breadth and length as we have walked already.
The broadcast of matches will begin on the 18th of September and will also be live streamed on MTV's Facebook page. This will expand the reach to the wider viewing public locally and globally.
It's a privilege to have MTV, a state-owned broadcaster, to be with us with PNG FA. And we're looking forward to watching the games on TV. At least our family members that cannot make it to watch it at the stadium, the privilege to be able to watch from the comfort of their homes.
MTV also, in its capacity to support the growth of football in the country, will provide support to PNG FA to help improve the live streaming of matches out of Lae City.
Unfortunately, we are not able to branch out to Lae this year. That is something that we can work on for the coming years as we grow in our capacity as a force, as a television station. We will also be providing training and support to the PNG FA media officers in Lae in terms of enhancing the production of the live streaming coming in from Lays.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
The Connie Eagles Rugby League club, affiliated to the Mosby South Rugby Football League yesterday, received sets of jerseys donated to them by the member for Mosby South, Justin Chechenko.
The community at Connie JT Compound, Kabua Crescent, welcomed a sponsorship deal by Justin Chechenko, their local member, who bought their team, the Connie Eagles, a new set of jerseys.
Because you have to stay fit, you have to stay focused, and you have to make sure you win. There's no use playing just to lose. You want to win. So I'm very happy to sponsor the Connie Eagles for the benefit of the community here. Yes, we have the big Connie Storms, but the Connie Eagles have done very well.
The community was overwhelmed with the gesture and thanked their local member.
Connie Eagles now you mean. Now Minister Bimi am giving this la Jesse President says new plus set Jesse la you mean now you mean like launch him now.
When you talk about youth, there are a lot of youths around. And we need to engage them so that we keep them busy in one way or the other so that they're occupied.
Okay, but time nunggu to good time daw basta one time you come so mat mi platu was mi platu so at you time was you come time. Thank you.
Chechenko urged the community to support their local team.
The most important thing is community, get behind the boys, get behind your girls. When you go out there with the Connie Eagles uniform, you feel proud that you're representing your community. You're representing your community right here. Doesn't matter whether you live in a settlement or a village or an urban area. Be proud of these young men. Be proud of these young women. They represent you here at JT Compound and at Kabua Crescent.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after these short messages.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. The Mosby South Rugby League Select side received their new set of jerseys from local MP Justin Chechenko. The squad picked from the MSRL will take part in the Southern Super League competition as Mosby South Blacks.
The Mosby South Rugby League will participate in the newly launched Southern Super League competition. A number of players from the cream of the Southside competition have been selected to represent the MSRL in the second-tier competition. Named as Mosby South Blacks, the female team will participate in the Southern Confederate Trials, while the male side will compete in the SSL Comp. They received their new set of jerseys from the patron and member for Mosby South, Justin Chechenko.
It's an annual thing that we do. Every year we get new jerseys, and we're privileged to have that kind of support from our member and minister. You know, good people with good hearts, and this is the result for it. We spent a lot of time and effort in developing our players, using Rugby League as a tool to bring all our communities together. So all these players, both men and women, are from, I think, Konedobu all the way to 6 Mile.
Chechenko has been instrumental in supporting sports activities in the Mosby South electorate. He says this is vital in developing sport talents.
So this is just a sample of what other clubs can achieve in their own districts and in their own provinces. But these are our local grown talents, right from the village, right from the settlement, right from our urban areas that are coming up the ranks that we are nurturing to be the next rugby superstars.
Rugby League, being the national sport in PNG, plays a huge role in the development of sport in Mosby South. Mosby South is one of the active rugby league programs in the country.
From the juniors to the women to the B and A grade. We put the emphasis on rugby league because as a national sport, it is loved by everybody, from the settlement to the village to the urban areas. And with that as well, it allows us to develop the youth, especially the unemployed youth, and give them opportunities that they would never have before. So under the Mosby South Blacks, there is different levels that allows them to have a career path from the beginning of being a Mosby South Black to, who knows, being a Digicel star or even a hunter at the end of the day.
With the draw released for the Southern Super League Round 1, the Mosby South Blacks will play their first game against the Port Moresby Vipers next week Friday at the Sir Jongai Stadium. Suli, Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather report is next. All the details after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. For the southern region, Port Moresby, partly cloudy. Daru, partly cloudy with few squally showers. Kerama, partly cloudy with few patchy showers, drizzles. Alotau, partly cloudy with few showers. Popondetta, cloudy with few showers.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's been the news, sports and weather for today, Saturday, 21st of August 2021. Until next time, pleasant viewing, be safe, bye for now.